All right, so we're recording now. Let's see how that goes. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Just it's one thing. Just being real talk. When you and maybe everybody ain't gonna be excited about this because I mean it's just one of those things. I got to the point in my spiritual walk. It's one thing. I forgot who said it. I think it was Pastor Sales, but it was called satanic humbleness, and it's not really acknowledging, allowing to acknowledge the great things that God is doing through you as a vessel. Anybody you think is like being humble and downplaying, like, man, you did a great job. Oh no, 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 no. Accept that. Not don't get prideful with it. But I mean, hey, if you did a great presentation, if you did a great song, if you played well, if you sang something well, if you presented something well, you ran the media well, and if somebody says you did a great job, take it. You know, I think the issue that we have in the body of Christ is like, we're so quick to want to give, which is great. It's better to give than it is to receive, but you also need to be able to receive. Because if you're always giving and you're not receiving, who are you giving to? You got to be able to receive. Um, Thank you, sir, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. So where are we at now? And there you go. I appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. Let me see. Covenant healing. Those that are quick to tell others what they are doing wrong are the very ones who don't do anything because they don't want the responsibility that comes when you're the person who is doing something. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, originally I wasn't recording because it was actually recording to Vimeo. And honestly, man, dude, I was just so worked up about having to psych myself up to do this for 12 hours is something I just wasn't thinking about, as well as, oh, where am I going to store all this stuff? Because that reminds me, I need to remote into, the Hyperdeck to see if I can actually delete these files at the same time. Hopefully, we do not have a problem when I try to do that. So we're going to come over here to our FileZilla. Let's go ahead and connect to here and see all these other files. We're going to actually go ahead and delete. Thank you for, again, the super chat. Really appreciate it. I'm going to delete everything from December. Actually, I can delete all of this because I already have all of this. All right, so good. We're going to have plenty of space. There's going to be a massive file, but it is what it is. Well, actually, it's not what it is. What it is, it's what we choose for it to be. All right, so there we go. Excited about that. Josh. Hey, AJ, looking for some feedback for our new church thumbnails. I'm sure at this point I don't need to give info to find the channel. So which channel are you on? Could you send me a link to your channel? Oh, let me miss that point here. 20% of the people doing 80% of the work. Yeah, that's a classic. Very much a classic. G-Man, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and find Josh's church here. And let me go through my subscriptions. I see your premieres. Is that the one? Josh, let me know. I want to be honest with you. Make sure I don't forget it, man. I got so many ones that with the same name. So, is this y'all? Let me. I think this was the same one that you. Yes, it is. Yep, because that's your tab town. So, and you said your thumbnails. Let's see. I like that one. Is there anyone in particular that you're calling out for me? Sabbath school lesson. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's how you did the name? I was wondering how it showed up like that. That's cool. So, Josh, are there any particular ones that you want me to look through? Because we're going to start doing some more reactions to people's stuff. Nah, Josh, I got you on here, man. Should be under worship service and playlist. All right. So, all right, worship services. Let's see. Oh, no, I didn't want to go to there. View full playlist. Oh, yes, sir. Very good. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Sleep ain't kicking in, but this joint says it says wash my feet, and I'm just sitting back thinking about they're saying that certain cultures don't properly season their food. So the first thing it made me think about season your food. I don't know why I thought that, but nah, great. I like that because again, predominantly the person is taking it up, and just like we did right here, we talked about it. So you're putting that thumbnail and showing the text behind the person. Again, we got to look back at how thumbnails are being done across different channels and what you're looking at YouTube. So let me jump out of here, and I don't know why YouTube is going so slow for me. Um, have I used up my limit? I think somebody else was saying that as well too. So let's look at everybody else's stuff. Let's look at thumbnails. First off, you got a lot of people there. And you see, I want to do for that tomfoolery that's been going on with Logan Paul. But you see people's reaction. You got a person there on a lot of stuff, and you see that little silhouette, somebody taking up the main focal point of it, or the product. Let's see, another all up in your face stuff. Another one, people's face. That's interesting. Superman. You got. Let's look at just the designs of everything. You see a person's face on that, on everything, or you do something that's just catching off everybody off guard, or like this huge RC helicopter. I never got a chance to fly RC helicopters or a plane. I want to get one. I will get one sooner or later. So again, we want to look at how everything is being done so that we can tell we're mimicking. You see right here, like this one under Undecided with Matt Farrell, really like his channel as well too. It's focusing on this, but again, you don't see him, the whole focus of this. And you see the text that goes on the screen does not have to match your title. Roberto Blake, the same thing. I need to finish his book as well too. There you go, Josh. There's some more stuff for you. And we want to look at how people are leveraging the thumbnails again. Because again, you want to make it so small and you can tell exactly what's going on. So really cool. All right, so I'm getting ready to press the wrong button here. Let's see. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really sleepy. Most of the time, I don't go to sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, and normally right now I would be reading. Josh also said he's added. We also started adding chapters to the sermon for our video. That's awesome. Great work there, Josh. Back to Ty. Can you do a chime in to all who are watching where they're viewing from? Sure. Hey everybody, let us know where you at right now. I'm in Richmond, Virginia. For those still watching, where are you from? Awesome. Again, thank y'all so much for hanging out. Man, we're halfway there. Man, we're halfway there. I'm going to take a break, and we'll be back at 12:15. I'm going to wait until we got exactly to 12, and we're going to do that. Yeah, it looks like it was Ultraman. I don't know what's up with that. I get a lot of crazy stuff on there. David, man, thank you for still chiming in. I really appreciate it. Let's see. We got a bunch of stuff coming in. Let's see who we got here. We got Philly in the house. Beaumont, Texas. Youngstown, Ohio. Awesome. Parrot, Georgia. Video streams. We got Austin, Texas. Brandywine, Maryland. Mr. Clarence, man, you still there? Thank you, sir. Pixel Pushers from Waldorf, Maryland. Awesome. I didn't know you were there. We got Bowling Green, Kentucky. St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Awesome. Greenville, South Carolina. Yeah, we were just passing through there. Josh, Miami, Florida. Awesome. So either people are leaving their computers up, or they just didn't respond, or maybe they're taking a bathroom break. But hey, I appreciate it no matter what. We got Mousy is also in Philly. Got Parker out of Texas. Got St. Louis, Missouri in the house, but Covenant Healing. Are you going to another video about having your own channel getting away from YouTube? Are you going to another video about having your own channel getting away from YouTube? I might be understanding what you're saying. I'm sorry. Aaron, Jacksonville, Florida. I was a hop, skip, and a jump away from that. Philip Paul, Malaysia. Awesome. Ashland, Oregon. Awesome, folks. Arlington, Virginia, Potomac Deaf Church. Awesome. Man, now, let me take this last few minutes to talk about this before I take a break. Do you see, I hope y'all see the vision of this and just how powerful this is. You got YouTube is saying actively, we got a couple of other ones in here. We have El Dorado, Arkansas, as well too. So right now it's saying currently, as of right now, it's flipping back and forth, saying between 22 and 47 people here. Doesn't matter whichever one. I'm just thankful for either way. But look at what we were able to accomplish with, just say, let's go with the smaller number. Okay, it jumped up. We're at 47. So we're 47 people that are focused on one thing. Like, it goes back to the story when it's talking about when all the people were unified in a purpose with the Tower of Babel. Nothing is impossible to them. What could be done? Let's imagine if, like, in that vision I was talking about wanting to do this, that we have 50 people, that we set up a 24-hour type of media ministry to help out anybody on any time zone all over the world. Like, how much of an impact could we do and help empower so many other ministries? And I'm not just talking about what I'm doing. What can be done if we were able to unify in our cities, in our states, in our country, in whatever we're doing, the continent? How much more of an impact could we do? And, I don't know where this is going, but I'm just excited about being a part of stuff like this that's obviously significantly different than anything else. I'm really excited about how everything we have. Let's see what else we got in here. Like I said, Bobby, Manning, El Dorado, Arkansas. Uh, hey, Mousy, see, you were in the city of push and shove. I mean, bro, push and shove, that's first. Pixel Pusher. Um, we frequent VA family there. Yeah, actually, my cousin is actually in Waldorf, Maryland. Her and her husband and kids up there. Haven't seen her in a long time. Ryland, no doubt. I've been floored how God has used my YouTube channel this year, and this 24 stream is inspiring. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so exciting. What else can be done? So I'm really excited about that. And let me see. Let me get some other comments here in a second. Yeah, Roland, I actually came across your channel when I was doing some other research, man. It's awesome. That I really wish more ministries, and I mean, because you're watching people vlog about buying stuff. And I know vlog is supposedly dead, but it's still people doing stuff like that. You're seeing people walking around eating food, hearing people eating food and stuff like that. We need more people to do the documenting of the journey, because this is my personal opinion. We got way too many people preaching sermons. We don't have enough people living sermons and documenting that process of showing that, like the fact that, and I'm going to call her out, and I'm saying this in love. The fact that my lady came here, she knew what I was doing. And she was contacting me the entire time saying, do you have some food? Do you want me to bring you anything and stuff like that? I'm very thankful for that, because it was a time when there wasn't that, and it was a time when there was worse than that. So I'm thankful for the fact that, that she's doing that, and really appreciate it. So, man, Rylan, keep up what you're doing. Anybody, Josh, keep your stuff up, man. Everybody, because it's like we need to have more of a voice out there, so that if anybody stumbles across this, in no matter what aspect in their life, that there's a wide, diverse range of content, entertainment, content, inspiration, motivation, gut checks, whatever you want to call it, that has a spiritual and Christian base, biblical base behind it, so they can help encourage other people. That's what it's all about. So again, yeah, I talk about tech, but I have no qualms in hiding the fact that I'm a Christian. I'll throw scripture out, but I'm not trying to Bible bash anybody. I heard somebody say this a long time, and I try to live by this. Fixing me is a full-time job. I don't have enough time to have a part-time job in trying to fix you. If I focus on fixing me and everybody started focus on that, we ain't got enough time to point fingers and always judge everybody else, because that everybody always gets that scripture wrong. Me and my lady were talking about it as well too. A lot of people saying you can't judge people. No, yes you can. It says, and I think it's Matthew 14. Let me see. Let's look that up. When I did this thing, it messed up all of my settings and Pro Presenter. So that's one other thing I got to go back and fix. Joy. That's scripture, but my font is not big enough. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Change the font. I want to go up and down, not just up. And let's change this to League Spartan. And let's change this one, this text, to go up and down. And I was gonna bring up the scripture, but then, like I said, the it kind of messed up on me here. And let's change the league Spartan here to just regular as well too. That works fine. Did I save that? I really hope I saved that. Yes, I did. Yes. Judge not. I know these gaps kind of messed up the whole flow of what I was doing. I was close. It was Matthew 7, not 14. All right, here it goes. So let's take this down. I need my background, which are missing. Joy. My whole flow just got messed up. Too much time has gone through, but we're still going to get it. So let me get my background here that I can use. Forget it. I will just use this one for right now. Use existing. All right, so we got here. Like, I don't understand. Forget it. My stuff isn't showing up right. So, now it's pausing. But anyway, we go up to the scripture. It says, judge not that you be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye met, it shall be measured unto you. So in other words, the scripture is not that you can't judge anybody. The scripture is you can judge, but be willing to be judged at the same level that you decide to judge somebody else. That's the scripture, not the half tail one just to appease what you're doing, which ain't right. So I know it got killed off because of the gaps that I had and everything. Let's see. Not Maine. I said Michigan. I thought. I don't think I did. John saying that, love that quote, fixing me as a full-time job. Did you read that somewhere or make that up? I might have to use it. Somebody actually, I heard that I went to a business conference and what was it? It was a leadership conference. Yeah, it was a leadership conference. I heard somebody say that, and I was like, ooh, I love that. It's like, no need in looking up the scripture. We love you. Hey, I want to be accurate. Last thing I need is somebody coming back behind and saying, oh, you didn't. Hey, I like to try and keep my stuff straight and narrow as best as I can. What is the weirdest church setup you've seen? Greater Faith that I'm getting ready to go to. The weirdest setup, as in somebody ran cables in a conduit with Romex, and the Romex insulation was sheathed, and it charged that cable. So when I went and touched the cable, I thought I was going to come back with superpowers and be like the Flash, because that joint kicked my tail when I touched it. That's been the weirdest. Now, weird as in I've never seen it before, it was actually somebody in the Facebook group that sent me a picture that their live stream, which laughed at it initially, but I can't knock the results. I need to find that picture. But it was literally a bunch of hymnals stacked up on a desk, and it was just a phone that was streaming. And I'm like, okay, that's a good start, no problem. But the thing is, it zoomed in and showed how many people were watching. It was like 10,000. And it's like, that's what we talked about. Start with what you got, man. We focus on all these cameras. It's people that are hungry for the word. And it's like, it don't matter if you got daggone rubber band, paper clips, and you MacGyvered something. And if like, it's about getting the word out. That's really what it's all about. But then also being skillful in your craft, meaning that that's one thing to get by like that, but still keep improving when you have the ability to it. All right, 2 more, and then I'm going to take a quick break. You mentioned the ability to have your own channel on Owncast. Are you going to do any more videos on that? Yeah, I am. I'm playing around with that. Somebody actually sent me a recommendation for a different server. That was the server I was working, the blue one that was on the floor when I did the tour of my setup, but I don't have a motherboard in there right now. So I need to get a motherboard to rebuild that and test that some more. But yes, the plan is to do that. All right. He meant main as in hustle and flow. Terrence Howard, Memphis style. Y'all funny. All right, folks. We've been going for 12 hours. Thank you so much for chiming in. I'm gonna see what video I can play to keep looping for y'all, and I will be back after a break. Let's see. Can we do the A10 Mini Beginner Basics? I think we can do. I think we can do that one because it's still a lot of that stuff is still applicable here. Ooh, that's a long one. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll have y'all prepped for that. So let's do that. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video, this is going to be an ATEM Mini 101 basics, going through all of the most common questions I get with the ATEM Mini. It's been 2 years since we've had this, and I just want to have a reference to try and answer as many things as possible, as well as for a lot of ministries that I've done installs for. I want this to be a reference for them and any future members for their media ministry. So I'll have timestamps down below that you can jump to a specific topic if you want to see. We're starting with the ATEM Mini, and we will work our way up to the ATEM Mini Extreme. So that's about it. But before we get started, please go ahead and hit that like button. Doing it early helps YouTube know that this is great, and they push this video out to more people so that it can help other ministries or anybody else that's using the ATEM Mini. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. So enough of me blabbing. Let's cut over to the overhead camera. This is the ATEM Mini. This is the original, the OG that comes with this. This is, and what is the ATEM anyway? I don't know what the name stands for. It's not an acronym, so I don't know what ATEM stands for, but that's what this is. And what I need you to remember is this is nothing but a humongous capture card. All right. So just like you would have a capture card that you will plug into your computer for one camera, this will allow you to have 4 inputs coming in. Now, what's the differences between the other ATEMs? This ATEM Mini, the base, first off, if we flip it over, as you see, we have 4 inputs, 2 mic inputs, 1 HDMI out, a webcam out, an Ethernet jack, and power. This is the essential. This is the base. Now, what I would let you know is, honestly, this goes for around $295. Most decent graphics card, capture cards, kind of like the Decklink Mini Recorder is one that I use a lot. The 4K version costs $195, but that only allows you to have 1 input. This ATEM will allow you to connect up to 4 inputs: cameras, computers, whatever, video game consoles, DVD players, Blu-ray players, as long as you turn the encryption off. That's what allow you to connect to this, all right? So that gives you an extra $100. This is honestly, I think, is a very, very good start. If any ministry was asking if they wanted to, or if anybody was looking for some type of capture device, I would honestly recommend they go with the ATEM Mini, because it's just $100 more and you can have 3 more inputs. All right. Now, another thing is you have 2 mic inputs All right. So you can have a wireless mic similar to kind of like this Rode that I have. You can have this connected directly here if you wanted to with a 3.5 millimeter connection. And you can have two of these. Or you can get a XLR to 3.5 millimeter. That's what that is. A 1/4 inch to 3.5 millimeter, and you can go directly from like a soundboard similar to what I have right here, and that will go directly into this. So what's the importance of that? That means that if you are at a ministry and you have a mixer, whether that's an analog or a digital one, as long as you come from an aux out, a monitor out, a 1/4 inch out, you can take the house sound using all of the mics that you already have in your ministry, if instruments are plugged in, anything, and the entire mix that's going out to your speakers in the house will come into your ATEM, which is available for your live stream. So instead of you using a microphone like on a camcorder, you can actually collect the entire sound just like if you were sitting inside of your sanctuary, and that will be sent to your live stream, connecting to one of these inputs, which is really awesome. Now, you also have a second input, so you could do multiple things, but we'll explain that. They function the same way. If you're connecting a microphone similar to this, there is a setting that we need to change. If you're going into a sound system, there is a change that needs to be made, but we will talk about that later, all right? Now, one thing with these inputs, these are auto scaling, meaning that if you plug in a camera that can support 4K, it will scale this down. If you plug in anything HDMI that's like 720 or any resolution, it will scale it up. This is awesome because the original ATEMs did not have this. Everything needs to be set to the exact same resolution. For the most part, you don't need to worry about this. Now, I still have some issues trying to plug a GoPro into this, but any other camcorder that you get from like a Walmart all the way up to really high end that you can connect over HDMI or convert the signal to HDMI, this will do the trick for you, all right? Now, with the ATEM Mini, this is the base, this is the cheapest one. You have an HDMI out. All this HDMI out is going to offer is which one of these are you selecting. There is no multi-view on this one. So, for example, the multi-view is, I'll take a picture of it so you can see it because I can't turn the camera to show you what this looks like. But the multi-view, similar to what I'm doing right now, will give you a look of every single camera that's plugged in. I am looking right now. What you're seeing is the ATEM Mini Extreme that has 8 inputs, but it's the exact same thing. But this, the ATEM Mini, the base one, does not offer this. The only thing that you're ever going to see in this is going to be the program out, meaning that if you have camera 1 selected, that's the only thing that's going to be seen. If you switch to camera 2, 3, 4, that's all you're going to see. There is no showing of all 4 of these inputs at the same time on this model. The ATEM Mini Pro fixes that, but we'll talk about that later. All right, let's go back to our other outputs. You have a webcam out. This is a USB-C. If you connect this device to your computer is going to see this as a simple webcam, so it is not really taxing. The ATEM is doing all of its functionality. So if you're using something like Zoom, instead of you using just your webcam, the ATEM will let Zoom just see a camera, but the ATEM will allow you to now select between 4 different cameras. So if you happen to have a camera in the back of your sanctuary, or if you're on your desk and you're doing a meeting, you can have your laptop as another input. So you have your camera as 1, your laptop is a number 2, and you can mix and match a lot of things with this, and it's just going to show up as a webcam, and this can be connected to anything, Mac, Windows, Linux, it all works, all right? Now, the USB also allows you to control the ATEM over your USB at the same time. That's really important as well, too. Now, here is a RJ45, an Ethernet jack that you can connect to this and connect it to your network, just like a printer. And your computer can see the ATEM over the network. Any computer that's running the software can connect to the ATEM and control it over the network, all right? Now, some of the higher end ATEMs can actually use this network connection and live stream directly from this without a computer. That is the ATEM Mini Pro and higher. This ATEM Mini cannot do that. All this is a glorified webcam and capture card that allows you to connect 4 inputs to it, all right? This is a good start, but just be mindful of the limitations. It can't live stream, it can't record, and you have no multi-view. That's what this Mini does. Now, one other thing I want you to notice, if we look all over this ATEM here, you'll notice there's the power, but turn to the side, the front, the other side, the bottom, the front, there is no on or off button. So if I come here and just plug this right in, you see it just turns on. So for you to turn this off, you have to unplug it. But there's a couple of people, especially a subscriber, Chris, in Canada, he made this. This is a little pass-through here. That will give you an on and off switch for your ATEM. As you can see, it should be on, but now you have an on and off switch. Now, he sells these for like $9.99, or if you get a bunch of them, they get a discount the more you get. I'll have a link down below if you're interested in these. But if you don't get one of these, what I like to do is plug all of this into a surge protector and then just turn the surge protector off, and it will kill the power to this. So just be notice of that. So right there, we have power. Let's go ahead and connect a network connection here. All right. And let's plug in a USB-C cable here. And I need a camera. All right, I have my Sony 4K camcorder right here. I would use that. We're going to plug that into HDMI input number 1. Then we have our connection here. And make sure we turn our camera on. All right. So there's our basic setup here. So really straightforward. Just think about it. If we had different inputs, this is how this would work. All right. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer and let's see what this looks like. Now, before we get started, we need to go and make sure that you have the latest version of the ATEM controlling software so that you can actually control your ATEM and make sure that your computer can detect it. If you plugged in and did everything like that and nothing showed up, you need to make sure that you install this software. This is for Linux, Mac, or Windows. So this is how we do it. We're just going to go over to blackmagicdesign.com and make sure we install the software. So let's go ahead and cut over to that. I'm here at blackmagicdesign.com. We're just going to come up here to support. Scroll down. We're going to go to ATEM Live Production Switchers. Alrighty, folks, we are back. I cut in so you can see that I was here. I was just eating. So, Philip Paul, my question is. Ooh, my apologies. The question was, you said initially. Let's bring it up here. So initially, our pastor wanted to stop the live stream and continue recording. I think I ate my food too fast. Recording, but changed the plan this year and will still be doing live stream. What was the reasoning behind that? What was the why? I guess what was the why for that? All right. So while that is closed, the process for YouTube should have been done by now. Closing out all these extra windows I don't need. So while we're doing that, I'm gonna go back to the process of looking at some of these lower thirds. So I'm gonna just not lower thirds, but some of these choir mics, and I'm mainly looking at, are there any tags? Like there's no tags in that one. Let's see. No tags in that one either. It just shows you that the tags are not really that important. All right. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and go back to. I want to make sure we're still fine. I don't know why in the world YouTube is fluctuating like this. But anyway, let's go back over here to the video. Its stuff is finished rendering and everything like that. All right, David, I see your question. I will follow that up here in a second. Let's knock this out. So we pretty much had everything done. Now, if I go to my tag, well, let's go here, and I'm just going to do media ministry training, miscellaneous. And I guess this would be more of a guide somewhat. I wouldn't say that's media ministry training. So we do that, add it to a playlist. And now for tags. For the most part, tags can be useful if content in your video is commonly misspelled. Otherwise, tags play a minimal role in helping viewers find your stuff. So for me, most of my stuff is now AJ the CEO. And then we go through a lot of that. We're going to do J, the CEO. Then AJ Holmes, Arthur Holmes, E missionary, E hyphen missionary, media ministry training, media ministry, hanging mics, hanging microphones. I think that should be enough. We save that, and then we'll actually just make it public. There we go. We got another video out there. That's the whole process. All right, so let's go to some of our comments here. David was asking, can you give reasons for and against and compare OBS vMix and Wirecast and for church live streaming? Sure. So, currently, let me actually confirm this before I actually put my foot in my mouth. I got a bump on the side of my face. Ooh, man, Wirecast has changed up their stuff. I remember when all of these used to be free, and now they charge more. So, all right. So, First off, OBS and Wirecast are the only programs that support that support Windows and Mac. That's the first thing. vMix is Windows only. Um, OBS is free. Wirecast and vMix cost. Looks like Wirecast. Let's cut over here. Wirecast is $35 a month. If we go to vMix, the base that gives you 4 inputs is $60. The HD version is $350. That's the one that I'm using. The 4K version is $700. The Pro is $1,200. And then the Max license is a $50 a month. So if we were looking at the monthly, this is $50. That gives you everything that the Pro would be. And then let's see. What are the features? Does it have a comparison? And I know Monty uses Wirecast. So Studio is $600. Unlimited camera input, so that's you get the advantage of that over. That's at $35 a month. Unlimited multi-streaming and recording, remote guests, advanced shot comparison, PTZ control. That's locked under the premium one at for vMix. It actually includes scoreboards and stuff like that, which I believe is separate on vMix. And then, so I'm talking about those two. That's what you have. And a lot of the features are built in. Now, OBS works on Windows and Mac, but a lot of the stuff that vMix and Wirecast has, OBS you have to use through plugins to get it to work. That's the only downside that I would say to that. OBS is kind of like it's at the discretion. It's not a company that owns it. So if something gets messed up, you kind of got to wait for developers to work on it. vMix and Wirecast, they're company owned. So if you have an active team behind it maintaining it. That would be my initial cons and pros about that. And I'm slumping back, like I said. My back is hurting. Not in a bad way, but it's just been sitting up straight. This chair is not meant, and I meant to bring a pillow down, but I didn't. G-Man's Multimedia. G-Man from Half-Life. Thanks for showing the video about the ATEMs. I have a capture card now and thinking about buying an ATEM to improve our streaming. I think it'll work. The fact that you can bypass the capture card completely and just come in over USB, that helps as well too. That video is on our channel. That was just stuff I'm playing instead of having to. We'll be right back with my electro disco music. Philip Paul, actually, it was the continuation of earlier question, AJ. The reason of stopping the live stream was wanted more people in the church. And I never understood that. Stopping the live stream, that's like the same thing that I was dealing with schools. We were streaming all the sports when people wouldn't come around, and then when they opened it up, the state and the governor opened it up where people can come back. They're like, let's stop live streaming, because if we stop live streaming, then more people will come back. And I always threw this question out. That's stupid, because it's not just like churches. They have the same mindset. Stopping the live stream to encourage people to come is dumb, because local people aren't the only ones watching the live stream. So if I stop my live stream and you got, like, if I stop this live stream right now, and Philip Paul, I'll use you. If I stop this right now and said, hey, no, you got to come to my house for me to talk, you're not going to be able to do that. You're in Malaysia. The likelihood of you being able to stop, get up from your computer, your phone, your tablet, whichever way you're watching, and actually come here to Richmond, Virginia is not realistic. And most people don't think about that. Like from a sporting events for schools, that's what I used to always say. It's like, what about the parents and the uncles and the cousins and aunt, that live states away that have now have an opportunity to watch their niece or their nephew in sports, and they've never been able to unless that one time a year they just happen to be in town. Think about the same way. It's like this isn't just for the lazy people who ain't coming to church to sit on that pew because you want them to be there to feel important because you have a full church. Um, it's not about that. It's like, how many more people are you reaching? We're so stuck looking at the low hanging fruit or the fruit that fell on the tree that we're not realizing we're reaching so much more than what we're doing. Glenn, my brother-in-law, if you keep live streaming, you're growing your ministry and spreading the gospel. Exactly. Thank you. That you don't just stop because it's comfortable. It's about reaching more people. So just like with anybody else, you don't stop evangelism just because you're more concerned with how many people are standing, coming into your church. No, it's a tool of ministry. You keep it going. It's not like let's cut our losses here and automatically we're going to get more people. No, you don't do that. We've seen the history of people thinking live streaming stops people. Most people who are serious about the live stream, you've reached more people in general. Scott, I figure the people who use streaming as an excuse to not come will just find another one. Exactly. So why cut out an effective tool just because you want to get those 1 or 2, 3 people that want to stay at home? So let me get the rest of my soggy cereal right here. Wow, that got super soggy very, very fast. So let's see. All right, so we got some people pop a bump on the side of my face. Can't see, I'm picking at my face. Woo, excuse me. Let's see what's going on in the Facebook group here. All right, so I have it done using OBS, and that's awesome. We're talking about how to do that. Let's see what else. This is the Facebook group, man. We get lots of stuff in here. Let's make sure we ain't got no tomfoolery going on in here. I ain't trying to kick nobody out super fast. Hi everyone, hoping to have some help. We're using OBS and the Decklink Duo 2 and a couple of SDI inputs. I'm trying to configure one of the remaining SDI inputs as an out to coax with a BNC to F connector that runs to a nursery. So I see adapter to put it into the auxiliary port. This will not work as the SDI signal is not compatible with a standard F connector. You need an SDI to HDMI converter to get a signal the TV supports. All right, hopefully that will help. Nobody answered that question. I answered a question on this as well too. So let's see. I didn't like my own comment. Yeah, so really cool. We're gonna do some more stuff in here. And again, I think somebody was asking me, what did I use? Did I check out a plan inside of here? Sadly, no, I have not. Now, this is a really cool idea. Johnny Ray Jr., he started putting credits at the end of the live stream for the team. I think that's a great way of edifying your team and, seeing the work that they've done. I think that's an awesome type of thing. Bob Powell 377. At my previous church, musicians didn't support live stream because they didn't think the mix was good enough. Then tell them to come back there and help. If they weren't helping at all, it's like, bruh, that's like, I don't want didn't support the live stream because the mix isn't right, dude. It's not about hearing your music necessarily. It's about the message. The music does help encourage that, but it's one of those things that you have to be patient. Like again, I've been a musician since I was 6. I've been an audio engineer, never. So for me to try and get this stuff right, I'm using my own time to master it. Because if your church is lucky enough or blessed enough to have an audio engineer, that's something different. Or if you got the income to bring somebody in to do it, that's a one-time thing, unless you're going to hire them continuously to do it. David, here, is there any meaningful reason to stream church in 4K? I would say future proofing, but again, like most of my videos, the last ones I did them in 1080p. I do my stuff in 4K just for future proofing my stuff. So if you have it to do 4K, why not? Streaming in 4K? No. Like I stream in 4K mainly because I was testing out the web presenter and I have the bandwidth to use it, to watch it, stream it, and all this other stuff like that. For the average person, no, I don't think it's needed. But if you got it to do and you want to kind of future-proof what you're doing, then hey, it's no harm with that. Do I think churches need to go in 4K? No. That's just my personal opinion. We got California in the house, and it's still Friday for y'all. We're a day ahead of y'all. So that's awesome. Man, why does it seem like time just starting to go slow? Philip Paul. So we are still doing live streaming. I think it's good that we should still live stream in general. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know of a real reason why we should stop. Let me rephrase it. I don't know of any good reason to stop unless Jesus Christ personally says to stop. And that ain't happening no time soon. I don't believe. I ain't God, but at the same time, I don't know why we would stop sharing the message. Just to going back to not streaming is just me personally just thinking about, I want to get back to a comfort zone where it's easy for me. That's what I personally think. So, folks, back again, punching the clock halfway there. Yep. Scott. We have a hard time if one of the singers tries to speak through a song. It is really hard to hear them since the mic is set for their singing volume. Is there a fix? We have a hard time if one of the singers tries to speak during a song. It's really hard to hear them since the mic is set for... I mean, that would be one of those things that it's like, this is not a set and forget it, and it has to be adjusted for that. I do the same thing. When I have the freedom to actually control the board, I'm actively moving that thing. And then when pastor starts preaching or Dr. Laura's talking, they're the only one that's talking, then it makes it easy because I can just set it and then step away. But I still have access to get to it, and I don't completely forget it. I probably would have maybe 75% of my attention on it instead of anything else. Now, let's actually do that real quick. I'm going to go through a couple of these, and then I'm going to jump back to something. I want to go back to the graphic that was made that I showed you on the Facebook group, and I want to address that. Being in ministry out of the four walls of the church, it amazes me how many pastors don't and will not think of all the people in missions, halfway houses, jails, prisons, different types of medical facilities. Exactly. We become comfortable, and we just think everything is like this. Those who can't work, who can't come to their church but want to go to church. Exactly. Back to David. 720p higher video quality or 1080p average video quality is two head recommendations for church live. Like, isn't Facebook limit? Facebook is no longer limited to 720p. They've made that change about a year and a half ago to where all the streams are 1080p now, if you want to. So maximize quality there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say push it as much as you can. I personally would not do anything less than 1080p unless my upload speed. Like, I have a church that I used to play at, New Hope. They want to get into streaming, but unfortunately, in their area, the only thing their upload speed is at half a megabit per second. That ain't going to support anything, and honestly, that would be frustrating even if you were streaming at 240p. Again, it's about the sound quality. That's still enough for a great sound. But again, what they're doing right now is they're just recording service and they upload it. Personally, I would still stick to that. Maybe get equipment that would be better and then keep doing that until the internet's in the area. Again, I like Starlink, but that's another video that y'all haven't seen because I've been trying to test it after I installed it at my mom's, and it just has not been stable enough to hold a live stream. It'll do it for maybe about 4 minutes, but not long term. So it's not there yet. It's great for downloading, and my mom has been really happy with that, but live streaming, no. Philippo. Hey, AJ, did you manage to? No, I did not look through that yet. That's why I mentioned that, but I'm going to get back to it. Tossie. Is it advisable to use OBS and vMix as parallels when you are using a Mac for live streaming? I mean, I think it should be fine. I played around it when I had my Ryzen Tosh system, and I played around with it. Worked fine for me. So I think it can work. Back to David. We have two mics for the pastor, one singing, one speaking. And I know I need to change that because I have a halo for my pastor. And when he sings, because actually nobody's going to admit it, but somebody went there and changed his settings on this mic and it sounds horrible when he's talking through it. So I need to go vanilla out my entire sound system and go through it all over again. And see, it's stuff like this. I do the opposite. You notice how everybody has time to do it right a second time, but not enough time to do it right the first time? I'm the opposite. I don't have enough time to be going back and trying to fix something that somebody wanted to half-tail themselves and come in and touch something to get something fixed for an immediate, but they don't think long-term about it. That's like the same way for me to redo my whole system here. That's going to take me some time to disassemble it. But the intention would be for me to rewire it, and because I have a second chance to reorganize some stuff, I need to get some conduits and put all this other stuff in place to make it nice and neat. But my thing is, if you got an opinion on how the media needs to be and you think that it's not being done well, volunteer. Don't give me your opinion, volunteer. And I'm not trying to sound like a jerk when I say this. Your opinion means nothing if you're not going to come back and help. If you know enough to see and you have enough wisdom to see that we're doing something wrong, have enough wisdom to back it up and take your tail back here and help make it work. I can tell I'm starting to get tired because we got a little rage popping out here. Oh, we got some folks from Zambia. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for your work watching from Zambia, Africa. Awesome. Yes, the ATEM only streams at 1080p. 1080p. The frame rate may change, but everything is at 1080p. All right, so let's go back to the Facebook group, and I want to make a suggestion of showing how this layout here was done. Kingsley did that. We talked about this, and I kind of am doing that right now with what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and play around with this and show you. So the first thing, there are multiple ways to do this. I'm going to try and do this in OBS. But how am I going to let y'all see that? I I think I need to hook up another camera so y'all can see it properly. We'll come back to it. All right, so we want to try and mimic this. So I'm going to do this in OBS first, and then we'll try and come back. So you can do this in Canva. I'm going to do this in Photoshop. Let's close. Close both of these. All right, so oh, excuse me. So the first thing is this is going to be 1080p because that's the output I'm doing OBS. So let's go ahead and give me a base, and I'm going to make a new layer, and then I'm going to do this color. Now, this is going to help me keep this in perspective because I want to have the same proportions. I am now using Control T so that I can change the shape. And I want to drop this down to something like this. So it's still in the aspect ratio of 16:9. Let's shrink it a little bit more because I realize I need to have space. For this other here. Let's do that. Now I'm going to select all, and I'm going to center this perfectly here. And actually, I need to shrink this some more. Do it like that. All right, that's okay. Select all. I want to make sure it's in the center of the screen. Boom, we're good to go. Now, what I'm going to do, let's cheat with this. I'm going to use blending. I'm actually going to do, let's actually do this to be unique. I want to make it look like it's an outline here. So I'm going to do a gradient. And I'm going to do it, let's stick it with that. So that's fine. Now I'm going to copy this again. I'm going to turn off the effect. But what I'm going to do is take this, do another Control T, so I can transform it. And then I'm going to shrink it at least 1 pixel in and down using these guidelines here. So something like that. All right. And then I'm going to shift this so it's in the exact center of this. Let me turn this bottom off to make sure. All right. See, I don't have enough space. Let's do Control T again. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And I want this to be an even outline around everything. So let's center that. And that's not the right dimensions. Control T. Up. Bring that in a little bit more. And I might have to freehand this. I want to try and keep it in the I was trying to keep it in the aspect ratio, but it's not coming out perfectly the way I want. So we're gonna have to stretch it a little bit. bit more than I want it to be. So there we go. So if I bring this back up, you can see that it's right in the center. And you could do a couple of things with this. Say I want to actually make that bevel look good. I'm going to select this entire thing. And then I'm going to delete that space under it. So now it looks like it's an exact frame. So we got to fit our image inside of that. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to take the same shape and put that for our second screen, our second window. So I want to try and mimic the same distance from this other side. That looks good. And I want to line it up here. Let's do a Control T, and I want to swing this over. And honestly, this might actually work without me actually doing anything, because I'll just use that as my break. I actually do that. So we're actually already good by just doing it like this. And let me actually resize it, because it keeps my bar on the other side. So that was easy. We didn't have to do nothing. So now what I need to do is come in here. I'm going to put this under here. And I want to get this space. And I want to fill this with that color as well too. So there we go. So this is our placeholder. This is where we're going to work inside of here. And what I need to do is select this. And I need to delete all that space. So now when I turn this off, see, this is open right here. That's open right there. Now, what we want to do is also have a color to make this stand out. So say you have whatever type of color that you want. And I'm going to do abstract blue wallpaper. I'll just use that. And I just want to get something that makes my touches my spirit when I see it. Let's see. I'll know exactly what it is when I see it. Actually, let's go here. So let's do blue abstract background. This way I know I got a license for it and I ain't got to hear no nonsense. Yeah, there's a couple. Let me do this two ways. So actually, let's do a video behind it. All right, so let's look. So this is going to be simple. Let's go ahead and download this. And we're going to make sure, let's look back at this, and we're going to get rid of this background so that we're going to use this. So let's put a shadow on each one of these so it stands out just a little bit more. And this shadow is going to be black. And we're going to copy the same thing. And let's paste it there. Ooh, that's bad. Whatever. We'll just keep it this way. So this is just a transparent image. So let's export this. And I'm just going to call it untitled. It doesn't really matter. So we got our download. We got everything. So let's go ahead and head back over here. And now let's open up the OBS. And we're just going to we'll make a different scene for this. Let's copy, let's duplicate this. And what we're going to do in this scenario, and I need to have a static image. I don't have. Thought I had a webcam, but I forgot I got this camera right in front of me. And I also have my Sony camera, so I'll use that. So let's go ahead, hook this up as a camera. This is my action camera, the one I had for the other stuff. All right, so I have it set up as webcam mode. All right, let's see if that works for me. And yay, so there's my camera. So now that's something completely different. So now we can play around with this. All right, so we're going to use this right now. Now, out of the images that we did, we're going to add first our background. We're going to let that loop, close it when it's done. And that is this that we have here. So let's resize this, fit the screen. All right, we're going to move this down back behind everything. Now we're going to add our image that we did, and this is going to be in front of everything. So boom, there we go. So we got a placeholder now. Now I'm going to come in here, and now we're going to resize this to fit exactly what we want. So it's going to fit here. All right, make it a little bit bigger so it's fitting inside the walls of what we got. But then we're gonna crop this down. Holding down Alt, pull over here, hold down Alt. We got this. All right. So again, if I was holding this up, I don't have my stand for this. All right, so we can do that. So boom, we got that. Now that I have ProPresenter, I'm going to bring up let's go back to that picture so we can make sure we're doing something. So it has a scripture right here, and they have two ways of how they do that. They have it right here, so I'm going to try and mimic as best as I can with that. So let's bring up a scripture, and since we have that transparency, we can just do this. All right, so I'm just bringing up this. This is going to be outputted right now. So in this scenario, now we're going to bring up a window capture, and we're going to capture just the output from, and wow, it doesn't do it. So maybe not a window capture. We're going to do a display capture. And we're going to display this. So here's our scripture. I want to do a filter on this, do a color key, custom, select picture. Let's do the black. So now we can see through it. Look at that. So now let's resize this to fit inside the confines of this space. And because we're in the same aspect ratio, boom, there you go. So in that right there, we now have mimicked similar things. Like we can put the, if we look back at how this was designed, so you have all the stuff. You can put your logo at the bottom when the king speaks. You can do all that. You have your logo here. So similar kind of space. Now they have a space in between there. I mean, could have easily done that. I just didn't. So you can do this way. And that's what's all in OBS. But what you're seeing me in this window do is the exact same thing. I just did it in a super source instead of doing it this way. Now, you could also have your own design. So, like, if I happen to come back here and let's see if this background is going to play. And of course, it's still not playing. I don't know why it's doing that. But let's see. Can we add a different background in here? You hear that? It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. There's people still revving up and down the streets like a bunch of nincompoops. Did I use nincompoops? Yes, I did. All right. So let's actually use this. All right, good. So for whatever reason, that one is not doing anything. So if we go to OBS now, look, there we go. So now we do need to make a, bruh, why in the world you stop? All right. So we need to redo the screen capture because it's a little bit bigger than we need it to be. So let's go ahead and come in here. Let's modify this just a little bit. Slide it over just. And I don't like it's doing a snap. I don't want to do that. Turn that off. So we can go just a tad bit bigger. And actually, if we just drop this up under this, put the layer under the image, we're good. So there you go. So you can have the same thing, the graphics as well. So that's really cool. So again, let me take a screenshot of this real quick. Do a paint of that. And then I'm going to share that here on this as well too. Let's do a reply real quick. Here is my OBS version. I'm not going to add my picture. Oh, I don't know why it took so long. All right, good. So there we go. Let's see what else we got here. Philip Paul wants to know, will this live be able to be played back later? It should. It's going to be rendering for a long time, but yes, ultimately, yes, you'll be able to play it back. Pixel Pusher. Since you're playing in OBS, how would you control PTZ cameras through OBS with each scene set for presets? The challenge to get the preset is to take it in preview so it's not set. If you're doing it inside of it, I would use the PTZ Optics OBS control that will allow you to do that. I think it sends the commands for the scene, not 100% sure, but I would use it that way if you're trying to adjust it. Because if you're using the PTZs like that through OBS, you're using, I would use OBS as the switcher, and then I would have like NDI, I would have a different connection for the cameras independently so that you could adjust them. If you're doing something like through an ATEM, you're not going to be able to see the preview inside of OBS. You have to do that externally to see that. Neftali, what is going on? Thank you, thank you. We've been going for 13 hours, man. We almost at the 10-hour mark left to go. Lord. So I think my problem is using the browser preset call up isn't activating until it's active in the program. Yeah, that's the only part that stinks. The live sees the movement. That's one of the problems, and that's back to the artistry of the live stream that we want to try and hide that stuff to make it look a little more professional. Let's see. So again, folks, thank you so much. If you are just now joining us, links are above if you want to support this, what we're doing here. Again, there are multiple ways for you to donate. And again, all of the donations go towards blessing a random ministry that goes to our giveaway. So if you want to donate, you can do a super chat or you can go to the PayPal link. Link is in the pinned comment here in the live stream as well as in the description, or you can use this QR code. And ultimately what happens, another thing that you can do, and why did my monitor is acting up again? I just don't understand why just randomly the monitor is like nothing is touching it. So one of the other things that I would do, which I had at my apartment, which I can't do here, is this screen that shows me the text. I would place this right on the wall here so I can see this and maybe lower this camera a little bit. So actually, let me see if I can lower the camera now. And see now, look, yeah, that's too low. Almost like I'm back to where I was, but I want it to be so I'm not looking down. You're seeing my eyes look. I tried to have it as much as possible here, but for me, I guess I could put a mount on top of that monitor. Then I'm right back to how I originally had it. But see, I would have a TV right there, so it makes it easier to see. So I would have something right here behind this, so I'm looking at the camera, almost like a teleprompter. I still got the teleprompter that I had. That's what this screen was around here. Yeah, over here. That is what this was for. This laid in my teleprompter, and then I could see what was going on. Y'all couldn't see it, but it would be like this. And then I'm looking inside the camera, and I can actually see what's going on. You never know. I might actually try and hook that back up just to see how that looks this time around. But I want to have something that I can actually see, but I'm not physically looking down here. But anyway. 20-hour mark. Man, I wish we're almost at the 20-hour mark. We'll have 4 hours in and we be rolling. Mike. Nice OBS loud demo. I think that's about it for me for now. I'll see you when I wake up in the morning. Everyone who is just getting on, and good night all. Thanks, Mike, for everything. Neftali, all good in Puerto Rico. Yeah, I was there last year, man. Beautiful place. Been there maybe 2 times, I think 3 times, something like that. My personal opinion, nah, I was going to say something. I ain't trying to start nothing about Puerto Rico being a state. They should be. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Say, by the way, people just joining. If you haven't liked the stream yet, smash the like button. Thank you again. Pixel Pusher. I have to keep these things literally down to a 1-button controls on the Stream Deck since the only back person won't learn anymore. Exactly. That's why there's so much stuff I want to do, but I can't. The stuff that's comfortable for me is not everybody else. So I have to sit back and think, what's the nicest way to say this? Your ministry is going to move forward to your weakest link. So you can forge ahead all day long, but if nobody's going with you, you're just taking a walk. You want to be able to lead people. And at the same way, it's a mindset of a good coach. So the way I lead is I try and teach folks, and then when I see that it's not working, I just have to disappear. And it's like, hey, I can't keep handicapping y'all. I can't keep bailing y'all out. You learn through failure. You don't learn through always getting it right all the time. You learn by failing, and that failing makes you sit back, and certain people, it makes people realize, you know what? I'm not cutting the mustard. I actually got to get down and get this stuff down. Some people, if they don't have that, you can't teach ambition. You can't teach the drive. You can't teach grit. You either have it or you don't. And that's not something that somebody can give you. You need to tell yourself and give it to yourself. Robert Moore Jr. Hello, hello. I think I'm going to close out of vMix Social and close out of all my browsers because I think Chrome is eating up a lot of memory. So let's close it all out. And then we're going to open it back up. Make sure we close out of Chrome completely. All right, Chrome is all gone. Web Presenter we can close. I'm actually going to close Photoshop because I don't need that open. All right, so now let's open back YouTube. Let's open back up vMix Social. And I know we're going to be taking a break here in a second because I need to use the restroom. I drank too much water. Let's get back and get everything set up again. But I think what I was saying originally is, yeah, we talked about ways to give. And if you want to be a part of the giveaway, that is going to be here. The link is here. Everything should be in the pinned chat. So you can always get that stuff there. So really excited about that. Let's see. Want to know how everything is going with the fundraiser. Let's see where we're at. I think we're still kind of the same. I don't think anybody else has given recently. So yeah, we're still on the PayPal donations. We have $1,330 that has been given. And then on YouTube, in Super Chats, we have $556.98 that's been given. So we're at $1,886.98. So we're still $613.02 away from being able to bless a ministry with a setup. And then, the goal was still to go for another to go to a total of 5,000. I believe we can still do it. But yeah, so let's see. Lamar. Hey, AJ, have you ever set anyone up to be able to live stream to Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at the same time through OBS? How's it done? Yes, I have. That was actually the comment. There was somebody who ain't got no videos, ain't got no subscribers, said that's a nice way of breaking the terms of service, blah, 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 whatever. That was actually Soteria. We set them up to do that using Yellow Duck. I think now another way to do that is one of the in streams that you can do that as well too with the YOLO box and do that. So we would do everything in OBS, but then an output would go to the in stream and let it natively do that as well. So if that's a terms of service stuff that you want to get around, that tool is able to do that. That's how I would do that. So Pixel Pusher, yeah. So we're at 1886.98. And Streets of Destiny, yes, this is the longest live stream I've done ever, ever. So really excited about the results of how all this is going to turn out. I'm going to need to give myself at least a 3-month break in between the next time I do this. Or I'm going to get some more people involved so somebody can take a nap and somebody else can hand it off. So again, I'm not tired. I'm just crack my back. Ooh, I don't know if y'all heard that, but yeah, I'm really excited about everything. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, hit bell notification. Can we get 100 likes on this video? Ultimately, I would like to do that, and then we just want to push to get some more stuff done. Excited again. Let me check emails and see if anybody sent me anything that way. We're gonna learn. We're gonna move towards merch as well too. Outlook, Microsoft be changing stuff, and I think Facebook does the same thing. They just be changing stuff, and it's like, did anybody ask for this change? I open up Outlook, and they're like, hey, we moved this stuff over here. I'm like, I don't care. Or like they keep doing an update, and they're like, hey, I know you disabled Teams, but we're gonna turn it right back on again. I had it off for a reason. I don't use Microsoft Teams at all. Uh, let's see. So I don't have any emails coming in there. Clint Parker sent a donation, so that's what got us to the 1330. So thank you for that. Also, my cruise is paid for now, so that's awesome. Let me check that out. So again, I mean, I'm really excited. Really want y'all to come if you're available to the, where is it at? There it is, on the E-Missionary Cruise, April. Really excited about that. We're going to be there April 24th through the 28th. I'm trying to see if my lady friend would come with me on that because my spot is empty right now. I have a room. I normally go on cruises by myself anyway, so I always have to pay for double occupancy. But let's see. Let's take you on a tour of what it looks like to do all this extra stuff in here, shall we? So let's go full screen here. I am now inside of the cruise, and I can add extra stuff in here. So let's look at what excursions are going on. I know John was asking about that. So this is the Thrill Park full day pass, $133 a person. Wow. No, I probably won't do that. Coco Cay Beach Club full day pass, $223. No. Real Water Park Cabana all day, 1,100 per. No. Water over water cabana, 3,500. No. Chill Island cabanas. No. Coco Cay zip line. I've done this. This was very fun. Me and Sonia did this, and this was a blast. Beach cabana. No. Oasis cabanas. No. I mean, it's just a reserved spot for you to sit in. But most of the time, I'm in there. Breezy Day Beach Bed Rental, no. Island Full Day Beach Bed Rental, no. Up and Away Balloon, me and Maya did that. That was awesome. Snorkeling at your leisure. You know, I bring my own snorkel, so I just go out in the water and just swim. Probably having a life vest. I can swim, but I want to have some backup just in case. Now, my snorkel is a full face, and it will have it extend out. And once I put my face under the water, it will stop water from coming in. That thing caught me off guard. You breathe on it, the whole mass just sucks into your face. But kayak, no. Glass bottom boat. Me and some friends, when we went on our last cruise on Virgin Voyages, we were gonna do something like that, but that got canceled. I always want to do scuba diving, but I don't need to have a license first for the petty license. I think that's what's called. Might want to go through that. Floating mat, not interested. The Oasis Water Park, that's 207. I didn't know that. I mean, I ain't cheapskate, but wow. Pearl Island Beach Escape. That might be interesting. Blue Lagoon Island Stingray Encounter. Like I said, I bumped into stingrays when I went into water anyway. This is all Coco Cay right here. No, actually we're in Nassau, Bahamas now. SeaWorld Explorer highlights. We did this. Swim in Wonder at. I walked past this at Atlantis. Funky Nassau Jeep Adventure didn't do this. Explore sightseeing. I can't remember if this is what we did. That's the Petty Scuba course. That's in Spanish. Pearl Island VIP. No, I've done the jet ski. Best of Nassau and Paradise Island. No, we did. Me and Sonia did this one. The Essential Nassau Sights and Flavors. Oh, is that me and Maya? I think me and Maya went on this one, and we did the essentials. We went. Me and Sonia did the excursion like that. Let's see. A bunch of these I didn't do. Have not done. No, me and Sonia did. No, I messed all these up. Me and Maya did. This is the Culinary Insights tour where they had that grits that was like, yo, that joint don't even taste like grits. Then we did the walking tour, because we walked. Me and Sonia did that, so that was cool. What else? What else? So coming back from here, because my flight ends very, very late. I probably want to do some other stuff locally, but that's the stuff that's there. So really, really cool. Inside of here as well, you do beverage packages. I don't drink like that, but again, I'm a diamond, so a lot of some of the stuff I'm able to get as a discount as well. So refreshment package, you can get any type of drinks. I normally get a classic soda. I automatically would have bottles of water in my room, but that's really cool. I actually see that you can actually bring your own bottles of water, which I never used to do, but that's cool. Different dinings, you can have unlimited dining, and you can go to different places of the specialty restaurants on there. I've never been to the chef's table. I've done Chops Grill. I've done Giovanni's Table. That's Italian. That's new. And then My Time Dining. It doesn't have as many options as Spa and Fitness. No. I've done a massage, which I might want to try and do. Again, I had a deep tissue massage. I wouldn't mind trying acupuncture. Let's see. Trying to find which one it is. Only for guys. But we already went through that. I don't do internet. I think mine comes for free, but I don't use it because when I go on vacation, I disconnect. I don't try and talk to nobody, nothing like that. Now, my last cruise, I was talking to Renata a lot on Messenger, and we were talking back and forth that way. VIP pass, no, I'm not going to do that. Onboard activities, there's a bunch of stuff that you can hear. A class on how to make fresh guacamole. I did a sushi making class on here as well, too. Entertainment, different events, photos, might do that. It all depends if I have anybody going with me. So, again, and actually have a $50 onboard credit. So, let me actually do that now. So, since I have an onboard credit, I'm going to get the soda package. I'm going to reserve that for me since I'm the only one here. And boom, I have $50 credit. And this is going to be, oh, and they add taxes on that too. So, oh well, let me get that because it comes with a cup. I've been collecting cups as well too. Use this amount, 42.40. Apply credit. So that's free. So yay, I got a drink package now on the cruise. I can get unlimited drinks, and I have a cup that comes with me. So if you want to be a part of that, man, come on. We're gonna have some fun as well too. Streets of Destiny. You said you took the words right out of my mouth. Doing a Jerry Lewis telethon where we have multiple people do this. That's the vision of doing it without the Jerry Lewis part. All right, so let me turn my camera off here, and we will be back. I'm gonna take a hot little break, and it is 1:30. So really excited. Thank y'all for joining. Again, we're pushing to hit this goal of being able to bless another ministry, and we're gonna do an awesome video about taking this in and picking someone. And we just went up $20, so thank you for that. And we're going to take a hot break for a second, and we shall be back. Let me see. We're going to bring up a video that y'all can watch here. Maybe I shouldn't have closed that video. I should have just left it open. What else we got? We got the AI camera. We had the trip to Baton Rouge. We got the Bible trivia setup. The Bose B40s. I've done a ton of videos. I'm letting it. It's uploading. I mean, the videos are loading here because all of this is on my